Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to day 14 of The Woman Called You to Over January. My name is OSA. That's my acronym. My name is actually Ohunene. So today is day 14 of 31 days to declutter and deconstruct the mind to gain clarity. Wow, 2 weeks already, and I'm sure a gorgeous woman has had time, to evaluate and reevaluate her life with regards to her mental health, mental space, and just everything that needs to be just offloaded to give you the peace of mind, which really consider a prerequisite to live, you know, um, life as we ought to live our best life. So today is day 14 and we're on the part 3 of choosing your battles. Um Day 12, we just spoke on what it meant to choose your battles wisely. Yesterday we discussed what good battles are and how to, strategize and how to go into battle, even if it's good, how to handle it and how to come out with the least bit of, you know, uh, um, should I say injury in air quotes? Yes. So today we're saying choosing your battles to declutter the mind, bad battles. Remember, we said yesterday that there are good battles, but it doesn't necessarily mean all good battles have favorable outcome. It's just that with your good battles, you understand that at the end of the day, it has to be a win-win situation. You know, you need to get to a point where you agree to disagree. You need to get to a point where even if it's a good battle, it's not going as well as you thought it would, be able to throw in the towel and say, you see this thing, I wouldn't want to bother about it again. We talked about the cut loss points when you say, okay, time to cut my losses and move on, you know. So today we're talking about bad battles. Yes, choosing your battles wisely to declutter your mind, because we know one thing that would always, get our minds in a flurry, in a twist, so to speak, are issues, mental issues. Remember, I said we're not talking about battles in terms of physical battles. We're talking about battles that are usually staged, you know, between our ears. That's the mind. And that reminds me, tomorrow, day 15, we'll be examining the battles that take place between our ears. I can't wait because that's such an interesting touch topic for me. Because years ago, it was something I had to, explore when I was going through some issues. So I really, really love that topic, and I would love to explore it tomorrow. So today we're talking about bad battles. Remember, I said yesterday that there are essential battles um, that we call good battles, and the bad battles are basically the non-essential battles. And I told us that choosing your battles, wisely simply means, you know, just deciding to be selective in the challenges, the arguments, the confrontations that you choose to get involved in. We talked about not allowing every dog have its day in your field. Instead of fighting every problem, save your time for things that matter. So today we're talking about bad battles, and that's the non-essential battles. And you must understand that if there are good battles, good fights, then there certainly will be bad ones. And sadly, or I dare say unfortunately, so many of us, we end up being distracted from the good battle we embarked on, initially, and we're now distracted and we find ourselves fighting bad fights. We're caught up in bad battles that we had no business being involved in from the get-go. You wonder what constitutes bad battles. I'll just touch on that before I take us to another aspect of this discussion, where you see people being caught up in, egocentric arguments. My sister, run. Just Igbo will say, bosso. Any argument that is ego-centered, you know, when the person you're talking to seems their ego is so inflated that um, they think they can ride over you, they think they have the most superior argument. My dear sister, from the get-go, don't be involved. Whether you think you have the much needed arsenal to fight that battle, don't bother. It's not worth fighting, because such battles will take a toll on your emotions. Such battles, where people start praying, they start grandstanding and all of that. They're not battles that you should be involved in. Battles that let people bring their personality to play. Those are bad battles. You will end up being stressed. Yes, I know some people say stress is good for the human body, but it gets to a point where your stress level becomes unbearable. It not only affects your health physically, your mental state, your mental space is threatened. And when we're talking about decluttering the mind, anything that would not give you peace of mind, those are the things we're talking about, things you need to flee from. Another kind of non-essential battle, and that's the bad battle. All this kind of they call them peripheral battles, things that shouldn't really matter. It's like sweating the small stuff. You see people squabbling in churches, in fellowships, like somebody was saying some time ago that she had this in her quiet moments, she heard God say to her, if all these things people are doing and all that, they go to church, they do all they do, they pray, to what end? Is it not to my glory? And then when people now go to these same places where they're supposed to be, in fact, what she was telling us, we're just in awe, we're over, just in awe of what she was saying. I just pray she puts up a video somewhere so I can post it on the group, on the the woman called you Facebook group. And she now said, so when people now start going to churches, to fellowships, to places like that, and they start doing things, they gossip, grandstand, fight each other and all of that, to whose glory? Is that now to his glory? And so those are the kind of battles I'm talking about, peripheral battles, battles that defeat the aim of why you gathered in the first place. Battles that are on the periphery of the main events. It's just like you go to a wedding and you go and start quarreling. In a wedding where two people are coming together, being joined as one, and you now go there to quarrel. That's a bad battle. That's a non-essential battle. And you went to the wedding to feel good, to feel happy. Meanwhile, you will now leave that wedding angry. You go to church to praise God, to have peace. You now go there and you quarrel with somebody, or there are feelings of resentment running wild, and you now leave church angry. You now leave your fellowship angry. Is that not a bad battle? Is that the real reason for such a gathering? So you see, so many of us are caught up in peripheral battles that only just waste our time. Battles, in this case, that are not of eternal value. I beg you, it is not worth losing sleep or fighting over, because you will end up having a headache. You went to church to feel better, meanwhile you will leave church having a headache. Bad battle. Bad battles. Then we have the battles they call nuclear battles, nuclear war. You know when they say you are bringing a rocket launcher to knife fights, those kind of battles. You start an argument with somebody. Maybe the argument is simply like you're arguing about, let's say, who was a better president, Goodluck or Obasanjo. Let me use examples that are not in power anymore. And the person leaves that argument of who is better, Goodluck or Obasanjo, and now starts castigating you, saying things, bringing out your whole life history and everything. That's a nuclear battle now, where you move from the conflict of ideas, you move from what you're discussing, and now start, hurling hurtful things at each other. I tell you, such a battle will end up in a lose-lose situation. I've told you here how often back in the day we'll just start discussing something simple on Facebook, then it just escalates. Then at night I can't sleep. At night I can't focus. And that was one of the reasons I now said, okay, I'll be having a social media detox. So when you are involved in nuclear battles, you are fighting a non-essential battle, and it is bad. It is bad. I say, bad for your well-being. Maybe you're just telling somebody, hey, this thing, don't put it here, bring it here. And before you know, the person just, everything escalates. You think you know more than everybody. And that is how the other day, that is how you will see that you are close to the edge of a very slippery slope. My sister, run away from such battles. They don't deserve your energy. They don't deserve your time. And when I always talk about battles, I always tell people, I say, see, you cannot just choose your battle out of your own intellect. Ask God to give you wisdom to choose only good battles. I'm telling you. I told you the life we live, it's the battleground. There's even a series that had that title. When you hear battleground, you think they're shooting guns, shooting armored cars and all of that. No. The battleground of personalities, of minds, of lesser or higher arguments. So we need to ask God to help us. There are some good battles, essential battles, like I said yesterday. They are worth fighting for, even sacrificing for. And usually, as a Christian, they'll tell you it has to be battles that have eternal value. And sadly, whether we like it or not, even the Bible says it that the heart of man is desperately wicked. Who can know it? I mean, human beings were very petty. Many times we women will speak without thinking. We will react to things that are not worth reacting to. After you are stressed, you have a headache. Those things we have reacted to, they will ruin our peace. I mean, somebody says something to you in one of these useless battles you should not be engaged in. And before you know it, you are bitter, you are angry. Everything around us. I talked the other day about transferring the aggression. All this from a bad battle that I'm sure you probably had an inkling at the beginning not to be involved in such a battle. And before you know it, because you are now bitter, you're now angry, you're annoyed, it will begin to affect everything in your life. And at the end of the day, it's bad because it seems almost as if, such a woman, you have conditioned yourself that everything I must react. You see some women, I said it some days ago, I don't take it, I can't take it, I won't take it, I can't take it, I won't take it. And before you know it, you are constantly in a state of negativity. And when you remain in a state of negativity, if it's not physical consequences you will have, because I tell you, you'll be stressed out, you won't be able to sleep. Your mind will now become cluttered. All kinds of thoughts will continue to plague your mind. You see why it's not good? At the end of the day, you must choose your battles. Bad battles are a no-no. They're a waste of time, obvious waste of time. And for some of us women, these things, the Oimbo will say, making mountain out of a molehill. Women, we're most of us, I'm not trying to generalize, but I'm saying if there are 3 women in a room, there'll be at least one woman who would always want to make a mountain out of a molehill. And if we continue to act that way, involving ourselves in battles that make no sense, you will begin to lose a hold of yourself, lose a hold of your sanity. We're talking about decluttering our mind. So if there's a woman out there and you see that every little thing you are busy, it's almost like making a mountain out of a molehill of things that don't even deserve, a little bit of your energy. I have come today to say to you, it is about time you ask yourself, how is this battle helping me? That has brought me to the next point of our discussion. As I constantly engage in these battles, how is it helping me? How is it helping me? Begin to ask yourself, these constant battles I'm involved in, what is it doing to me? How am I being affected? Write it down on pen and paper. Take a pen and write it down on paper. If it's a pencil you have, you're currently engaged in a kind of face-off with somebody, the conflict is degenerating, or you are having, a face-off with your spouse or your friend, something you can't understand, or with a group you find yourself in, and you are constantly in a state of alertness to show them that you know who you are. I know who I am. Take pen and paper and ask yourself, how is this conflict helping me? What is it doing to me? How am I being affected? Sometimes the issues escalate because people have begun to see you as very predictable. And this is how she will react. This is how she will react. I told you guys back in the days when, hey, social media was something else. But I had to take a few steps back. And I had to learn, instead of responding to every negative thing. I mean, I see some people over responding, overreaching, over committing, and they begin to look very neurotic. So I learned to remove myself from the situation. And that is what somebody should learn if you are engaged or constantly embroiled in a bad battle. When you ask yourself those questions I mentioned before, how is this battle helping me? What is it doing to me? How am I being affected? And if you get your answers, this thing is giving me a headache. Thinking about what these people have done to me is giving me a headache. Being in this place, I'm talking, nobody's listening to me. I'm bringing ideas, nobody's taking it. Nobody's compelled to respond favorably to anything you say to them. So in that case, remove yourself from the situation completely if needs be. Understand that that place is toxic territory. What do you do when you find yourself in toxic territory? Igbo man will say, you will run. You will run and don't be tempted to look back. I see on social media, people are clapping back. People are, the people are applauding them. Oh, they clap back. They do this. Trust me, that person clapping back. Maybe a celebrity, somebody says something about this. Celebrity will now come there and say one thing. They may clap back, but when they go back to their homes, when they lay on their beds, those things that were said to them will be retained in their mind's eye. So one thing you should do, flee from bad battles. Don't allow it ruffle your feather. Don't allow them ruffle your feathers. It is understandable, my gorgeous sister. People can get on your nerves. And when they get on your nerves, you want to say your mind. You want to say it as it is. You're somebody who doesn't run away from confrontation. You're somebody who would say it and move away. If they like me, they like me. If they don't, well, it's their business. But think about this. Understand that it's affecting you. You see that your behavior, that thing that you feel, I'm showing them who I am. It's affecting you negatively. You know what happens? When you start acting in a way, especially when it is unlike you and you've been pushed to your limits, it begins to affect other areas of your life. All those disagreements, if you're somebody who would usually follow peace with all men, it will seem as if you're losing control. Because you know what, whether we like it or not, you see this life that we're living in, this life, there will be disagreements. There will be negative energies. People will, in fact, will piss you off. Excuse my French. You will find yourself in situations where, you see when they say unlovable people. But guess what? You can't control it. But you know what you can do? You can control how you react to those people. Not everybody. Remember, there was something I said. Day 12. Not everybody deserves your explanation. Not everybody deserves one answer. Sometimes silence is the answer you give to them. And I will be doing a disservice if I don't mention the things that will happen to you if you are engaged in these non-essential battles. I've said yes, the negative energy of it and all of that, but I want to just tell you some more things that will happen. If you are constantly engaged in the wrong kind of battles, at the end of the day, my sister, because like I told you, there's some kind of people you enter into. Actually, if you heard me a few minutes ago when I talked about peripheral battles, like in church or a fellowship where, or I don't want to call, I want to say gospel member, but I don't want to call any name or anything. But like in a church, in a Bible study, in a fellowship, where we're supposed to go there and worship God, bless his holy name, that he alone will be glorified. You now go there and you are keeping malice. You are quarreling with people. You are arguing with people. Those are peripheral battles that you should not be involved in, because you will remember the main reason why you are in that place. And you realize that those little, who will do communion, who will do this, who will be stand as the usher, who will carry a pastor's bag, who did not clean sanctuary, all those things are peripheral battles that are killing the mind gently. And if you do not deal with your emotions, rein in your emotions, and understand why you are there, at the end of the time, by the time people finish you with talk back, with bullying, you begin to feel sorry for yourself. And that is the thing that happens to most people who are engaged in bad battles. If you're a woman, every time you're going to be arguing with your husband and he will just finish you with mouth, he will leave, like I talked about nuclear battles, he will leave the thing you are talking about. Maybe, honey, you didn't keep this shoe here. Then he will start telling you about your mother, your whole life history, how your village people, they came from Sudan and all of that. Leaving the issue at hand and bringing a machine gun to a fight that you are using a penknife. Before you know it, you begin to feel sorry for yourself. The next thing that will happen to you, if you're constantly engaging in bad battles, you will give your power to that person. I'm telling you, you give away your power, because once that person understands they can keep on hurting you mentally, you become weak. So many of us in the place of wanting to fight bad battles that do not serve us in any way, we give away our power to the people we fight with. Remember, I said it's not a physical fight, it's not fisticuff, it's a mental fight. Another thing that you are doing when you engage in bad battles, you are wasting energy on things that you can't control, and that's the fact. Why not spend time controlling your own reaction? And most of the time, the thing about these bad battles, God help you if you are engaged in a bad battle with somebody that is a narcissist, somebody who takes advantage of people per time. There are some people that know how to twist the situation to their advantage. Before you know it, you start hauling all the blame on yourself. And the moment you begin to take responsibility for something that is not your fault, know that you have lost absolute control. You have lost absolute control. And once you lose absolute control, all these things, they have repercussions on your mental health. They have repercussions. Why are you fighting a bad battle? Why are you fighting a battle that leaves you feeling worn out? Why are you fighting a battle with toxic people? Why are you becoming bitter and angry? Not even with the people that have made you angry, but you now go home, you see a woman, she has a problem in church. She comes back from church, is frustrated. She will forget that it's God she went to worship in church. All she remembers when she comes home is how those people made her feel. Is it because I am serving them? Is it because I am doing this? Peripheral bad battle. So I'm here to tell a woman today, there is wisdom in choosing your battle. Yesterday we spoke about good battles. Even good battles, not necessarily all the time, will pan out well for you. So today, as I round up, I want a woman to understand that when you flee from bad battles, it simply means one thing. You are choosing peace. You are choosing peace of mind. You are choosing that you have made the decision to fight only the battles that are worth fighting for. You have made the decision that meaningless battles are not your portion. That you will not find yourself fighting foolish and meaningless battles. And you know why? Because you want your peace of mind to be protected. You want everything about you to be protected. And before you know it, those things that would usually trigger you, and you go into overdrive, and you're ready to fight out that battle that will leave you with a headache, you begin to see that they don't bother you anymore. Like I said, decluttering your mind, it doesn't take one day. Like John Locke said, you can learn anything at any age, just begin to learn it in steps. So I believe if you take the decision today and say, you see what, this my mouth, when I open it, I will open it to speak constructively. Remember, I said, talk to God about it. God, help me choose the battles. If this battle will not favor me, it's of no use. Let me not even start it at all. Or even if they start it and they want to draw me into it, cause me to flee. Remember what I said, run away from toxicity. I just hope I've been able to, bring better understanding to what choosing your battles have been. Because the past, this is the third episode concerning choosing your battles. And I just hope, like I always say, if you have any questions, you can always send a DM or you can ask the question on the thread. I can always answer you. It's been awesome. 14 days. We have 27 more. Yeah, 27 more days. No, but not 27 more. We have, I don't even know maths. It's funny. We have 17 more days to go. Yes, it's 31 days. So we have 17 more days to go. Tomorrow, day 15, like I said, I'm so excited for day 15. Day 15's topic is how to fight the enemy that lives between your two ears in order to declutter your mind. I tell you, one of the things we need to battle. I know I've taken us through the brain dumping a couple of days ago, yes. But you see, the battle between our ears is one battle we need to, fight within ourselves. There's an enemy that lives between our ears. And except we know how to deal with that enemy, we'll not be able to declutter our mind and may very well not be able to live the best life that we want. A life free of negative thoughts, a life free of, the Bible calls it, vain imaginations. My prayer is that at the end of, these 31 days, a woman would know herself better and understand how to win her inner battles. Thank you very much. I hope to come on tomorrow. Hopefully, there'll be video then. I just came in from somewhere and I'm like, how to do dinner, this, that. And I just checked the time and I realized, no. I need to go live. So thank you very much. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for understanding my not coming on camera today. But I promise by tomorrow, I'll be on to, and you can see my face. Yes. So God bless you. Till tomorrow, this is a woman called Nene.